I just don't
There's
get
a
it.
big problem with that one, but
I just don't get it. You
yeah.
you got celebrity links, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I don't understand that. But as we going on, welcome to Off the Parkway podcast. We're back for another episode. I'm here with Big Sue and Jamal. And you know what I mean, if you like this type of
Still
content,
good.
hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share with family and friends, share it to some strangers too. We appreciate it. How y'all fellas doing?
Pretty good, man. Can't call it.
Coming off a rough weekend, well, we're coming off a rough weekend. It's kind of hard to show my face up here, but hopefully hopefully we get a lot of new followers that don't know what I said last weekend. The ones that been here, they know what I said, and yeah. So it was a rough weekend on the predictions for me, but um, trying to get over a cold. So I was just telling James, I don't care what you mix it with. Black seed oil is the most disgusting thing. I just mixed it with orange and ginger tea with honey and 4 scoops of sugar. It tasted nothing but black seed oil.
Only thing that I ever that can come close to taking some of it is orange juice. Anything else, forget it.
Man,
I-
yeah.
I'm scared of that mix. Orange juice and black seed oil. I'm scared of that.
Orange juice, when you mix orange juice when you chase orange juice with stuff, that's your best cover, man.
Oh
Yeah,
man, I'm scared.
I used to take black seed oil all the time, and that was the only one that came close.
yeah,
I can't take it no more. You know what I mean? I tried it for so long. I cannot. Anytime I smell it or that little bit of taste makes me want to throw
yeah,
up. I can't
yeah.
do it no more.
I got the gummies too. I'll send that to you. But besides
Indeed.
that, everything is everything's everything. I heard it's supposed to be warming up a little bit. So I'm a little optimistic about that. So all is well. All is well.
I swear, anything in the 30s and the 40s is summertime for me. So
Real.
I'm looking forward to it to melt some of this snow. I caught a cold myself because Jay had a cold. He gave me his cold. So I just been fighting through that, taking meds and stuff like that. It's been killing me, but you know, I expect that every winter something like that is to happen, especially with these temps being so low.
Yeah.
It's hard to fight stuff like that. You could take all the damn meds and all the damn vitamins in the world, you still gonna catch a little cold.
Yep.
You know, while we're here, since we've been talking about the Super Bowl, that's where we should start off with the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So the game was on this past Sunday. And I can tell you one thing, and from all the people that's been talking about it, they has been saying that this is the most boring, uneventful Super Bowl in a very long time. How do y'all feel about this last Sunday's Super?
Well, the Super Bowl's supposed to be an experience, right? It's a national holiday, the biggest sporting event, certainly in America. It's the Super Bowl. It's where even people who don't watch the game, they sit down with family, friends, you know what I mean? You get together and you watch the game and entertained by the game, and everything outside the game, whether it's the Super Bowl show, the halftime show, the commercials, all that good stuff. And the consensus is that the game was boring, and I mean, I wasn't I tell you this much. I think, well, first of all, my prediction, I was wrong on my prediction. I said that the Seahawks was gonna win by 10 points. They kinda it felt like they won by 40, but, 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 the game itself, it wasn't that eventful, you know what I mean? It was 2 good defenses that was kinda, going back and forth until Seattle was able to kinda break through and get some to get some scoring going. But it's some things that I want to talk about. But I guess I'll just say I'll dig a little bit deeper into my analysis. But overall, I thought the game it was boring for a reason, and I guess I'll let y'all say what y'all need to say about it. But then I kind of expound on that in a minute. But that's all I'll say. It was boring for a reason.
I definitely think it's boring if you a fan of the team you're going for and they getting their butt kicked. Um, uh, you know what? I was sitting there. One of the reasons I say it was boring, right, from a fan standpoint, is I'm sitting there waiting on that big play, and I was actually waiting for it defensively. Right, I'm like, because I'm like the offense can't get going because their defense is really good. Let's see if we can create a fumble and score, interception and score, like something. And it just never came. And it's almost like it was a bunch of field goals, right? But it's almost like, okay, we're gonna keep kicking these field goals, and eventually we just gonna walk y'all down. Like I don't think that even though I was trying to yell out, bend but don't break, pause, like with that type of defense, but it's like they knew it was only a matter of time before they got their run going, and there was nothing that we can do to stop. We just really didn't have no answers for them. What little shell shot? And I'm sure for the last couple of episodes that we've had, I've been saying that we are so young that we don't know no better, and it seems like we were so young we didn't know how to make adjustments either, even from the coaching standpoint. Like
Yeah,
I
I ain't
didn't
know no
see
better.
we didn't know no better, right? So I see we kept trying to run up the middle. I didn't see any screen passes. What about like little short yard plays? Make the running back a wide receiver a little bit. Like we just didn't try anything creative at all. So um, we just wasn't ready for that moment. And I'm hoping that we're young enough to get back there and learn from this in the future. And I also seen that one dude Campbell, man, I told you he was a rookie. He been getting beat all playoffs on the offensive line, and it happened over and over and over in that Super Bowl. I don't want to blame him, but yeah, it was definitely tough to watch from a fan standpoint.
It was tough to watch for me because I felt like Denver should have been there. You know what I mean? And really, it really was a reality check that if we didn't get hurt, uh, we would have probably been there. But you know what I mean? It's just sour grapes on my end, but it is what it is. But it just showed that the lack of experience from y'all, and the easy schedule that you did have reflected that in the game when the Seahawks, their defense was pretty damn good. You know what I mean? They actually, after that game with the Rams, they actually showed me that they are capable of winning this game. And that's why I did predict the way I predicted, and I didn't get close to the score. Well, mine was 33-21, and the game was, I think it was 29-13. Yeah, 29-13. So I really wasn't that close. But what I saw was two offenses that wasn't moving the ball like they should be moving the ball. Sam Darnold looked terrible, and y'all offense didn't look that great because they was getting a lot of penetration from the line. But one thing is that y'all still was kind of in the game. You know, they was only kicking field goals, and y'all still was in the game.
I think we was in the game
It,
until the interception.
yeah, and the thing is that the Seahawks took too long to pull away. They should have pulled away a long time ago, pause. But you know, what I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes Sam Darnold did get the win that he was looking for. I just, as the AFC guy, I was just hoping that, what I mean, y'all I actually was hoping that y'all actually performed better to make me feel better. You know what I mean? To say that, hey,
Yeah,
y'all deserve to be there. You know what I mean? Seahawks got the dub that I predicted, so it is what it is. That's all I got.
It's interesting. That was the talk around everything about the teams. Like it just didn't seem, and this is why the boring tag was there, just about like the teams that was there, you know, and even like even with the NFC side with the Seahawks was good all year, but you know they don't have that star on that team.
Yeah.
You
No
know,
big name.
there's no big names on that team. There's nobody that jumps off the page. No, there's some, Jackson Smith and Jigba, he had a great year, but we all getting to know him. You know what I mean? And so and the defense collectively is pretty damn good. It's one of the most dominating performances in Super Bowl history. But especially the first three quarters, they shut them out. But and then even on the AFC side, whether it was Denver or what's your faces, the team that lost, that would have looked the same way to me too. I felt like Buffalo would have been the best matchup for Seattle,
Mm.
and like, cause I kind of felt Buffalo got robbed, in they in their game against Denver, but like, it just that's what that Super Bowl was missing, was that superstar, so, Josh Allen, if he would have been in there, it would have added a little bit more shine to that, and, it would have looked different. Even then you got the Rams, if they would have with Matt Stafford, or for like a upstart like Chicago, like all the energy that they was carrying on there, it would have been so much bigger if one of those teams was there, and it probably wouldn't have been as boring. But
Mhm.
it is what it is, man. They won the game. Props to Seattle. They had a really good season from beginning to end. I think even when they was winning in the beginning of the season, people wasn't really paying attention and just thought that, it would kind of tail off, but they really kept it going throughout the season. They lost to the Rams, but they was able to kind of get their get back in the playoffs and take that all away, man. So shout out to them. They got one.
Yeah, definitely shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. You know what I mean? Y'all did what y'all
Shout out to
supposed to do.
Marcus Lawrence. He got out the Cowboys and got another one and got one.
They did what they were
Gotta
supposed
get
to
away
do,
from
got that
Dallas.
dub.
Gotta get away from Dallas to win.
Hey, Maul, that you brought up Will Campbell, how he was getting trucked. I couldn't help but think about, man, when Dallas put Dak on that
They
that
put Dak
center,
in that middle and
and
they
then
bull rushed
bull
him.
rushed Dak. Yeah. When Dallas did that to him a couple years ago, that's how they was treating Will Campbell, man. That was crazy, man. That was a knock on Will Campbell, and I know everybody kind of getting on him about but the way they dialed up the defense, the blitzes from the DBs and different ways where they did that. They had two rookies on that side. It wasn't just Will Campbell, although his stuff was kind of obvious, but that defense was good, man.
Yeah. They was pretty good, but the game was what it was.
Right.
The other controversy was the halftime show.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? A lot of people had a lot of things to say about the halftime show. They was already kind of picketing, protesting the halftime show because it was Bad Bunny. You know what I mean? They wanted something more American. So now y'all seen the performance. What do you think? Did he live up to the hype of the performance that he got? Because he did get high views.
It was the most views.
Yeah.
He got the most views in halftime show history. Now, I don't know if that was because of the performance or if that was just because of the anticipation of all the stuff behind it, all the controversy behind him performing, and everybody just wanted to see what it was going to be, and just whether just to have something negative to say. It could have been. It probably was a mix of everything. Why it was like that. For me, listen. I really don't care when it comes to halftime shows. I'm not looking to be entertained. I'm watching the game. If it's a good halftime show, that's cool. I'm in the Super Bowl for the game. So when it comes to these shows, I really don't be caring to having from as far as my opinion. I didn't think it was that great. I watched it. I was at I was at a nice place that had a nice setup. They had
Similar to being like almost being
catered
there. Like,
food, some of the best caterers, and some of the delectable meals and food and delicacies that I've ever had in my life. And
it's almost like being there, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was enjoying myself.
Yeah.
The screen I was watching on easily over 100 inches. Pause. You
Yeah,
know,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I said. That's what I said, Smooth. Wow.
must be nice.
Uh,
Must be nice.
you know what I mean? So, you know, as I'm watching these things on this, it felt like I was there, but you know, I was not entertained, and it wasn't because of the language barrier. It's just because I'm not I'm not a Bad Bunny guy, you know what I mean? And I was talking to my wife about this or whatever, 'cause she likes some of the songs too. And she was saying, "Yeah, you know, I'm Caribbean, so you know, I like that kind of." I said, "Yeah, but I mess with some of that stuff too. I grew up going to the poppy store and hearing that music in the background. That's some of them joints is my joint. Suavemente is my joint. You know what I
What?
mean? Like
Yeah.
I like that music, but none of Bad Bunny joints be hitting like that for me. You know what I mean? It ain't like he ain't no Daddy Yankee. You know what I mean?
That's
So
you know,
like that's what I'm saying. Like the Bad Bunny
Tego
never hit
Calderon.
that way to me. Pause.
Well,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
Tego Calderon.
So for me, eh, whatever.
Hey, fellas, and I want you, because I was talking to my wife about this as well. I want you to hear me out on this one. I think that the reason why these halftime shows may not be as blockbuster as we want them to be, I think the stage is too big. Like if they perform the same way, the Kendrick Lamar's and all, if they perform the same way in an arena, right? It's a crazy show. Like, but I think like you're performing a concert in 100-yard field. Like they be moving all around this field. I actually think that it's too big for the crowd to really feel it. I think it's like we have to now. They got all these hidden messages for the people at home that we may not even get. Like it's not so this thing of a big time concert on the biggest stage. I think it's gonna take away from the feel of it
Well,
because
the
the
thing is, like when you compare that to somebody, you know, a tour, and you know they performing on this big stage, and it looks different than the biggest stage, which is the Super Bowl in the stadium. The difference is that the crowd that's there didn't pay a ticket to see the halftime show. They
yeah
came for so they're not necessarily fans of that. You know what I mean? Whereas you go to a show, you pay to see them. You know all the songs, you know everything about it, and boom, you're gonna have you're gonna have that part with it. So it's that part's gonna be tough right there because now you're trying to pull the audience in that really is trying to just watch the show and just see like, all right, how you gonna make me like this right here? You know what I mean?
And let's not forget the Super Bowl is not like any other game, any other NFL season game. That's the most corporate game in the season. You know what I mean? There's not regular fans just buy tickets to go there. It's usually businesses and corporations get the bulk of the tickets and celebrities and stuff like that get the bulk of the tickets to go to the show to see it. So it's not what we think it's going to be, you know what I mean, as we, watch the game. And on top of that, someone like Chris Brown, and he did comment that he needs
hmm
to be on the show, that he does football stadiums, you know what I mean? And I think he can put on a show that, because his shows are very interactive and he does a whole bunch of stuff in the air and all this stuff. He did it in MetLife and it
yeah
was all over the place. And
yeah.
everybody said it was like one of the best shows ever.
So maybe that's the next question. Who do we think would be Chris Brown? I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think he is born for that stage right there. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be a Chris Brown R&B hip hop fan to be mesmerized by his performance that he would put out there. Pause. You know what I mean? And he got the catalog to do so much. So he would be absolutely great. I think we all agree with that. Anybody else y'all think of?
I think anybody else would have to be a combination of at least one, two or three people, like how they did before when they had the LA show where it was Snoop Dogg and Dre and it was 50
So what combination of people you think would be good?
let's see here. I would like to see something with maybe the newer trending acts, like maybe like
I think you need Bruno Mars there.
nah, not Bruno. Bruno's good, but you know what I mean? I think maybe like a Cardi B, maybe like do a Cardi B, Glorilla, Lotto, you know, something
Yeah.
like a mixture of the girls.
Glorilla and Lotto at the Super Bowl?
You just took out
Well,
all the
Cardi
white.
B is going to be the headline.
You just took
She's
out
going to be the headline.
the whole white
Cardi
crowd.
B,
The whole white
yo,
crowd is
you,
gone now.
yo,
Yeah, that's too
yo,
ratchet.
yo, I'm telling you now, with her being at the Bad Bunny or just on stage, everybody was talking about her being on stage. You know what I mean?
She
So
can she can do it because she has some
Cardi's a
stage
star,
presence.
yeah.
yeah, she's a star. So she can't hold it by herself though. She will need other acts to be a part of the show. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think she can be just a straight.
That's when you would have to probably pull Bruno Mars, who did a song with her before,
Yeah,
and
well,
something
yeah,
like
she's
that,
gonna have
yeah.
to bring. Yeah, she's gonna have to bring her. She's gonna have to make a show where it's gonna be other acts a part of it. I don't think she can just do it like a Chris Brown and just do it all only her stuff by herself. He could do it by himself.
I think you need to go capture some of the moments, like some of the old moments that was major. Just bring them together. I mean, I don't know why. Like I'm thinking 2 songs from the Fugees, and then go get like I don't know. It's just
Lauren
wow.
Hill ain't showing up.
Lauren better show up to the Super Bowl.
She ain't showing up. She don't show up on time for nothing.
She was
She
at the
ain't showing
Grammys. She was at the Grammys.
on time
I
or in
don't
the
know.
middle of the
Like,
show.
I don't know.
Well, I think at this point, they gotta switch it up. So if they
Yeah, they
can
definitely got to.
if they can get Taylor Swift on there, she never been out there. You
Taylor
do Taylor
Swift.
Swift. I don't know. I'm not into her music like that, but I ain't stupid. She would need to be if she would be able to do it, she could do it by herself.
Yeah, she's capable of doing it by
Yeah,
herself.
yeah, so that I think that would be the most logical place to go if if she's into it, if she, wants to do it, because it ain't it would basically be up to her. Um,
It's funny how these acts, these artists turn it down.
I mean, I think it's some politics involved in there, obviously. You know what I mean? And with Jay-Z and Rock Nation, it's some stuff that's involved in that. Um, but and I was talking to my wife about this. You know who would absolutely do a excellent job at the damn Super Bowl, and this person done screwed it up, right now, is Nicki Minaj.
She got the
Her
hits.
her her catalog, the performer that she is, she's a
Yeah,
better performer than, like, a Cardi B. You know what I mean? Now
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
can go back and forth with what song or type of music you like, whatever, but as a performer, like, Nicki
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
a great performer, like,
Cardi don't have
she would
enough.
be she would be like, and I'm saying Nicki, I'm thinking of, like, the Nicki that was so, energetic and, did the personalities and all that stuff and the outfits and all that. Like, she would have killed that, something like that. Now she would never be on
No,
there. That's
she done
out the
talk.
door. But
She done talk
I
some
was
shit.
looking at that. I'm like, yo, she would have killed this. You know what I mean? She can kill this, as an artist. But they're gonna have to switch lanes and go.
Maybe go country next time.
They might have to. They could do that. It's some. They
Maybe
could do a
Shaboozey.
nice medley of some of the up and coming country guys.
Shaboozey?
Yeah, maybe Shaboozey
Shaboozey?
can get some burn.
Little
I
Jelly
think
Roll?
if you talk about that medley combination of a couple, maybe some of the newer guys, and then you sprinkle in a Dolly Parton just to come out on the show, just as, whatever Willie, I don't know whoever the old school country people is, but
Gotta get Jelly Roll.
they might
Jelly
have to
Roll.
switch it up for like 2 more years. They might have to go Taylor country and then come back to the niggas.
Yeah, yeah. I think rap is gonna have to take a
Yeah.
They gonna have to chill for a second.
yeah, maybe for like another 2-3 years, maybe he's
And
have
they
to
was
take
in
a
the
break.
bait. And they was in the bait and did not bring out E40. Like that's wild.
Uh, and keep the sneak, huh?
That's so hey, yeah, so's out of her.
And that's what I said. Someone
I
like
tell you
him,
what,
he
you
has
hit
to
that
be a part of somebody else's show.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
He got he got to be a part of somebody else's show. So like if they was at the Bay, if Cardi B was doing it, she would have to bring him up there as a part of her set.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
everybody can't get up there. It was different when you was in New Orleans and you want to bring out Lil Wayne or something like that. But them white people don't know
And
who the hell.
Lil
Them white
Wayne's
people don't know
never
who
going to.
E40 is. They can't
Yeah,
bring E40 out there. Like,
Lil Wayne will never see that. Lil Wayne will never see the stage.
And let's just go back to New Orleans. Where is it at? Do they know already where it is for next
yeah,
year?
they
It's at
they be
SoFi.
knowing like 2 years in advance.
Yeah, it's at SoFi this next year. Where's SoFi at? Let me see. SoFi.
So far, that's LA.
Yeah, it's in LA. Yeah. So it's gonna be nice weather.
Yeah, they not
And
gonna do no more cold weather cities. Even if they got a
yeah.
dome, they ain't doing that shit no more. So
So they're gonna do LA. So we gotta think of
it'll
we
be in
gotta see what
Miami. It'll be in Miami. They'll do New Orleans again. They might do Arizona,
it all
Vegas.
depends on who's the hottest artist going into the winter. You know what I mean? Going into the fall, going into the winter. So that usually determines who gets picked. You know what I mean? So Bad Bunny was one of the most trending person of last
He
year.
is. He is, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know what I
He's
mean? He
artist
was
in the
killing
world.
Puerto Rico. The shows over there, he was killing them shows. So he was the top dog for the year. And the year before was Kendrick. Kendrick, he was on a hell of a run. He's still on the same run. You know what I mean? He won the Grammy this year. So he's still on the same run. So, you know what I mean? Next year they definitely got to switch it up. I don't know who. Well, this year they're gonna be picking, so I don't know who they're gonna pick, but it's definitely not. I don't think it's gonna be rap at all. So we'll see. We'll see what
Well, I
happens.
mean, the thing is that Super Bowl it brings out all the stuff the morning after, right? It brings out all the controversy. It brings out all the arguments, the debates, and I know there was one that was kind of sparked up, after the Super Bowl where Jeff Teague and Ziah Franklin got into it in Jeff Teague podcast. Was the 504 or the
520.
520? Oh, where the fuck I get 504 from? But 520
New
podcast. Pardon me.
Orleans. New
Huh?
Orleans. New Orleans.
Okay, yeah. We were just talking about it, so pardon me. But yeah, man, they got into it. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely watched it, man. That was crazy. That was crazy.
So
Well, you
so
seen it?
so what was the argument about? Like, well, like from what I understand, the argument was they was talking about how like how the Super Bowl is the biggest show, like in America, and then it brings up the argument about basketball and football, who's more important, this, that, and the other, and I think Jeff Teague went into as well. We make more money, and like, and we're bigger stars, we're household names, and we don't know who y'all are. And then it got into a thing where now Jeff was acting like he didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
Like, his last name and all that stuff. He was getting mad, what I mean? And they was kinda going back and forth. So, like, what did y'all think about that?
Well, I kind of agree. Like in terms of like people not knowing who some of these football players are, I think that's true. Like these, like NFL is played under the helmet, right? So like
Mhm.
you see these dudes in public, you won't know who they are. Like, like who I don't the top offensive lineman, the best offensive lineman, the best middle linebacker. You may not know who they are. Like if you see them down walking down the street, you might walk right by them. It might say something like, "Oh, that's a tall dude. That's a big dude." You may not know who they was because they played the game under the helmet, and like I think that's the reason why some of them have the personalities that they may have. They may have the signature touchdown dances or whatever it may be. Um, like when Jefferson was doing the gritty and things like that to identify them. Whereas basketball players, you see them like you watching TV. You get to see them on a regular basis, like. I'm going to know a LaMelo Ball if he walked down the street. I would know Brunson if he walked down the street. Like those guys, like you see them, right? So I think Jeff Teague is right in that sense. I know the other dude is defending his sport and all that, but I mean, it's true. Like, we don't know who a lot of football players is. I don't know what I'm not going to go into the contracts. I know for some football players make a lot of money, but overall, they don't even play football that long. The average career in the NFL might be like 3, 4 years. So, do you make more money than someone who played ball for 10 years? Like Jeff Teague played the NBA for a long time. I'm sure he made a decent amount of money, and he wasn't. He's not a. He's probably like a one-time All Star or something like that. Like.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Where football, like you kind of got to get this contract, and you got incentives and stuff like that. Like you got to hurry up and get that money, and so because you're about to get hurt or retire soon. So I think it was some valid points that Teague made.
Well, I want to just give a little backstory with that because I usually watch the show, so they always go back and forth. You know what I mean? Going back and forth with this, and it's always been like a joking type of thing, and it always crosses the line every episode, whatever that he's on there, but it's always the back and forth about uh either can basketball players play football or can football play basketball,
Mm.
or you know what I mean, or they try to compare all-star berths to Pro Bowls, or they try to compare what else they was comparing the other day. They was comparing how like what is Drake made compared to like in the NBA. You know what I mean? So like if like say that Pat Mahomes would be like say it's like a Giannis, you know what I mean? They compare him to that. Or like so they'll say like Drake May is like and this dude he was like Pat Cumberton, you know what I mean, trying to be funny, you know what I mean? But the thing is saying that his star power is not as high as, you know what I mean, as how a Pat Mahomes is or like a Giannis is and stuff like that. So it's always a banter between them and the money situation. When I watched that episode, you know what I mean, I thought it was the usual banter, but they kind of took it to a whole new level, and I kind of thought Jeff was definitely wrong. You know what I mean? Not about the too much of the argument, but just how you was treating Zaire. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you are paying this man to be there to give the analysts for football every week because y'all don't talk football. You know what I mean? It's mostly a basketball pod. You know what I mean? They try to talk about other sports and stuff like that, but they really don't have no knowledge on the show about football. So they got him on the pod. So if you got this man coming there giving his analysts his thoughts on different things, why is it every time that he, you know what I mean, talks about certain things, you point out like, yo, we don't really give a fuck about football. You know what I mean? It's kind of, you know, he's going to feel some type of way eventually after a
Mhm.
while. And then it goes to the point where they talk about, oh, the coach wasn't shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It just gets to a point where, and then he played with his name and saying, "Oh, they put you on a jumbotron, and they didn't even put your name up there." You know what I mean? So it just was a back and forth about just dumb shit. You know, shout out to Jeff. He did apologize today, about treating him that way and how he tried to kick him off the show. He told him that he can leave. You know what I mean? And the guys, I didn't like how they didn't say anything about it on the show. They waited till the next day to say that they did talk to Jeff about it. They jumped on Jeff about how he act and stuff like that. But a lot of people in the comments was waiting for them to check him while he was on the show. And that did not happen. You know what I mean? And that kind of shows the dynamic that they got is that, hey, he might be the one of the main attractions to the show, but you still got to check him when he's wrong. You know what I mean? So I, you know, as a pod like that, I know they're up and coming and they're growing. They're growing at a fast rate, but that was just a bad look for that day.
Was it a bad look?
Well, for the I mean, people love the negative shit. So
And at
yeah,
the end of the day,
yeah,
in the world of podcasting, content is everything. I watch Joe Buttons and I watch how there's
yeah,
always some shit on there, you know what I
yeah,
mean? And then you'll hear him talk about it on interviews and things like that, and he says, "Yo, that's what matters,
Mhm.
is the drama, is the mess, all that stuff. You want to have it on camera, And all right, you can apologize and do everything you need to do off camera after the fact, but you got to let it play out and let all the arguing, let all the mess play out
Now
because
we talking
that's
about
gonna
it.
be your content. That's what's gonna drive up viewership. That's what's gonna do it. Everybody was talking about that. Now that's
Yeah.
already a pretty popular podcast, you know what I mean? But that viral moment, everybody had a take on it. We're talking about it now. We're not, on that level, but you know what I mean? Like we just added to everybody's talking about it. So, you know, uh in the moment, as far as the business part of it all, great job, Jeff Teague. As far as the man part of it all, yeah, you gotta do better.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But he did apologize. He did, you know what I mean? He did do it. But, I th I'm more interested in the conversation of it all, and the conversation of it all, where, the whole the debate with basketball and football and things like that, and actually, I think it's really not no secret to it, you know what I mean? Because there isn't there isn't many household names in football, outside the quarterback position, like, who are your household names outside the quarterback position? And then when
Yeah.
you go quarterback position, the only household name you got,
It's wide
uh,
receiver.
you got, Pat Mahomes, you got who else you got? It's really not
Josh
much.
Allen. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen,
Josh Allen, you got Lamar Jackson, you
Lamar
got
Jackson maybe, and I think that's it, I
but
think you
now
got some.
now you got Shador now, he's a up and coming. But what I mean? It's crazy that how
Yeah, it's
him being
controversy
up and
around him.
coming is he took over the
He
storylines for the
he has that attached to him based off his dad and
yeah.
everything that. But as far as from football, like it's really not that much. You know what I mean? Justin Jefferson outside the quarterback, it really stops there. You know what I mean? Like it's not that much. Whereas on basketball, you got players that got signature shoe lines, commercials, and deal. They got all these different things. And because of their longevity, we got some stars that's in the league for years. Look at the LeBrons, KD, Steph's, Harden, Kawhi's. These guys are still in the league, and they're still established stars, So it's that's always gonna be the case. You play, like you said, you play under the helmet and that's the sacrifice that you're gonna make, and it is what it is. But the game itself is more popular. Football, the game is more popular. The league is more popular. So
It is.
the league
And
is more
it's
popular. The
taking over.
players are more popular for basketball.
Yeah,
I like
it's the NFL is taking over the schedule too. You know what I mean? They never had Christmas games and stuff like that before.
that's
Now they
going
have a lot of Christmas games.
that's going the Christmas Day is basketball.
Well,
Not
that was
anymore.
that was the kind because they kind of
Yeah.
infiltrated on that this year.
They trying to take over Thursdays.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They got Thursdays, they got some Friday games. You already know they got Monday and Sunday. And as the season wraps up, they do Saturday.
Hmm.
They do Saturday and Sunday. So, what I mean, football is actually growing. And now they're going to have more games overseas. You know what I mean? They're gonna be in Australia now. You know what I mean? So they're gonna be playing all over. So football is on the uprise, man. And they really just take the thing that NBA wanted to do was to be global. And they are very global, but now football is really is extending their reach, so not bad though, not bad. I just wish that, I mean, you just hate to see that stuff, them they do they they show is live too. When they
Hmm.
do the show, it's live. They don't do a tape show and then put it out. They just the first show is straight up live. So anything that happens there, they cannot erase, they can't edit, they can't do none of that stuff. So it's wild. So if something was to go off and go crazy, gotta live with it. Gotta live. But what else we got on the board, man?
I mean, we was talking about football. Go ahead, transition to basketball. We got the All-Star game coming up.
Yeah,
We got we got
y'all
we
looking
had
forward to that?
we had some fights that happened in the league last night.
Are y'all looking forward to the All-Star game, though?
No.
Nah, I don't like the format, you know what I mean? I think it should just go back to the regular format, man,
Is it
because right now,
still 4 teams?
yeah, 4 teams,
Yeah.
3 USA teams and 1, international team.
Better leave them international players alone.
I tell you one thing, Big Wimby said, I'm playing through the whole game and somebody gonna get it."
You don't
I
know
think I
he'll
said that on this podcast a few weeks ago, a few pods ago, when I said when they do the All Star game, Wimby is going to play hard, and he's going to and he whatever team he's gonna try to win and get MVP. I said it.
Yeah, he said it. He said, "If they not gonna play hard, I'm gonna play hard."
Where's the
And,
game at?
shoot, where the game at this year? It's in, LA at the Clippers, new stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, so, you know what I mean? It's not a lot of people not playing. Steph's out, Shay's out now.
Shay not
Um,
playing.
nah, he got a abdominal strain, so he's out. What you call it? Brandon Ingram just got Steph's spot. I got to see who's taking the what you call the
Brandon
spot.
Ingram,
Yeah.
so they can do that from the East and take
Well, you
somebody
know
from
what I
the
mean.
West.
They remember that it's all jumbled up now. You know what I mean? They just putting
But
people in now.
put you anywhere.
Yeah, because they have him taking the spot. And they got Damian Lillard doing 3-point contest, and he's injured for the year.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I might be watching Martin.
Well, it's
When
on
Martin
Valentine's Day, so
when
maybe you got to go out to dinner that day.
no, I'm watching when Martin played against the girl
The
Olympic
game
team
is on
of the
Valentine's Day
show.
this year.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the Saturday is Valentine's Day, so it's yeah. So the actual game itself is on the day after. So you ain't watching that. I guess you're gonna be doing the Valentine's Day thing. I can
Yeah,
tell you that much.
that message goes to our followers. No way.
Hey man, y'all the married guys. I gotta live through y'all, man. You know what I mean? Y'all
You don't say.
Fucking live through me.
Jay's always trying to put something on. Hey, we the married ones, so we got like, sir, the bull, buddy. You get percent of all the stuff we talk about, buddy. Yeah, you do.
y'all gotta get ready to go dinner and stuff like that. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
mean, hey man, I've been doing the Valentine's Day thing for years now, and it's part of the routine. It's something that we want to do. Want to make a day of it. Want to you know I hope everybody happy and celebrate
Child,
love, all that good
I'm
stuff.
I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying
On a
to do.
Saturday,
Don't wake me up, man.
Hey
hey
man,
man,
I'm here
you
so I don't get fined, man. So
Real. Real.
nah, man, it's it's just it's a thing, man. It
I
just
tell you
is what
that
it is.
that's Valentine's Day is the biggest marketing holiday ever, man. That and Christmas, man, that make you spend so much money.
Hey man, you can say things we can't say, Smooth. So won't you go in on it? Won't you talk about it?
Let us live through you.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Nah, it ain't nothing to live through.
Oh.
It's the fact that it is and I think more people are starting to notice that, you know what I mean, that it's just more of the marketing than the actual act of love. So, you know what I mean, of course, they're gonna want more gifts and stuff like that, but the whole premise of it is that you get Valentine's Day, you celebrate love every day instead of on one day. You know what I mean? So you don't need the extravagant stuff. Of course, you go out to eat and stuff like that, but you don't need to prove your love over gifts.
I think
That your
all
stance on it?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Well, I think all the holidays have lost a little bit of their pizzazz and all that good stuff,
yeah.
man.
But
More
Christmas,
isn't
people
that no?
broke.
Isn't that no different than Christmas?
yeah, I think all of those holidays have
Because like that's
their
the same
flair.
expectation for Christmas. And
Well, yeah, you know what? I think it is because I don't think it's the same because one has to deal with kids. You know what I mean? And people like to make their kids happy and stuff like that more than an adult. And the fact that is people are hurting and they pockets are hurting now. You know what I mean? A lot of people just don't have the bread like they used to have because a lot of extra stuff is going on. But the thing is that, you know what I mean? You try to, you don't do stuff every day to, you do try to make your kids happy every day. But the thing is, you don't really try to do it as much as you would do with your mate. You know what I mean? To so like something like that with love and stuff like that. Be like, hey, I show that I care for you, this and that, X, Y, and Z. Kids are unconditional. You know what I mean? So no matter what you do, you know what I mean, you always gonna show that you love them, but you're gonna show that you appreciate them on that type of holiday. Not everybody celebrates Christmas the way it is, but I know even for myself with the kids, I trimmed it down. I don't spend as much as like I used to. You know what I mean? So it does lose its luster as they get older. The thing is, you know what I mean, as they were so young, like 3 to 7, you was spending so much money on gifts and stuff like that. But the thing is, it's not the same as Valentine's Day where you try to compile everything in one day. And then you gotta turn around and do it for Mother's Day. Then you gotta turn around and do it for this day and that day. You know what I mean? So you're gonna be broke, man. You're just
Yeah.
gonna be broke.
I
Them
don't know.
fucking
I
them
don't know,
fucking do
brother. I
them
don't
do
know, brother. It
them,
sound the same to me. Now I don't do Christmas because of religious purposes, whatever. But obviously, I do the birthdays. I do Mother's Day. You know what I mean? All those things. And um,
Hold up, but is the birthdays ain't the same though, right?
how isn't it? That's my whole point. You know what I mean? All the stuff is the same.
So you will go out your way like Valentine's Day for a birthday with the same type of.
To be honest, I would I would do it more for the birthday because
I agree with that.
Valentine should be shared.
Yeah, I agree with
Where
that.
you're getting something too. Should. Whether it happens or not, we don't know.
Come on now.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying what it should be and what it is, it could be two different things. But for the birthday, it's all about that person. But, it's supposed to be about the relationship, the love and all that stuff on Valentine's Day. And so I would think, yeah, that it would be the same.
But that, like you just said it's supposed to be for two. Valentine's Day is never for two. It's always for one. So I can't put a birthday where it's supposed to be just for one in the same sense as Valentine's Day because it's supposed to be a shared event. Like I
Why
agree
is
with
it?
you.
Why is it why is it that way?
Why isn't it?
Because when you say it's supposed to be for two, but it's usually only for one, I'm assuming. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm assuming that you're saying that is the man that's always making, is supposed to make everything happen on that day or something like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, as the man in that situation, do you voice your opinion and put it out there, or do you just leave it as is and just suffer in silence?
Most men suffer in silence, don't they?
yeah, well, you should say you want some fucking flowers too.
But that's the thing, you know what I mean? Most men
I've said
don't
something
really.
though. I've said something in now. I've been married for a long time, so I have said something in the past. As far as is it just about you or is it about us? What I mean, I think you get dialogue from that, and then you see how it changes. You see what's going to be different, and if it is great, or if it's something that you take, if it's a thing where you take what you get, or if it's a thing where it's just like, all right, just you believe that you just should be the one to get something. I don't know. It just all
If
depends on what you're okay with.
and if
You
I
know what I
don't
mean?
get her
I think that's
nothing,
a
does that
problem.
mean I don't love her?
I think that this is a conversation that maybe we can, maybe we can dive into whatever. Whereas that we as men sometimes we take the L way too often, and just because we don't want to deal with the argument, we don't want to deal with the back and forth, we don't want to deal with the fuss that comes with it. But we'll sit here complain amongst each other and say, shit, I ain't get nothing, you know what I mean? Threes and stuff like this. Like, yeah, I done got all this stuff and this is what I got in return. And we can sit here complaining to each other, but we ain't saying nothing to them. They gonna keep doing whatever they gonna do. You know what I mean? Like, so because they might be with the thought to say that, well, I'm supposed to get this and he's supposed to do this. So until we correct that way of thought or just voice it, it's gonna keep going that way.
I ain't getting shit.
Have you ever said anything?
Yeah, that.
Okay. And what and well, you know what? Let me
Nope, you can ask it.
Uh,
You can ask it right now. Nothing
okay,
happened.
so if
Nothing
you
happened.
said something, what and what did that get met with? That like, all right, I'm gonna change it, or like, no, it's not supposed to go that way. You supposed to be giving to me.
I don't think I ever got a Valentine's Day gift.
And see that goes with this part. You know what
I
I mean?
also
Like
don't
you're saying,
I don't want one, but for the sake of that argument, I'm like, so what am I getting? But you know what though? Shout out to my wife though. She don't care about that day.
Okay, so it's just both of y'all
Yeah,
ain't really in on it like that.
yeah.
Okay,
We have
but see
done
that
we have
that's the
done
thought
things
right
we've
there.
done things before, but it's no stress
so
on me.
then
There's no
probably
pressure.
you so more or less for like anniversaries or birthdays and stuff like that. You'll see it more like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
But look at it like this. We are as men, we watch our fathers, our uncles, the other men in our family. They showed us most of the time they show us that they okay with that behavior. So they just go with the flow and they just do what they got to do for the thing. So we are kind of programmed and conditioned to not say anything and just accept it. You know what I
okay,
mean? And maybe now you are maybe the new line in the family be like, hey, I don't agree with this. So now your son might now see something different as the family goes on, and he might not change. And I say the same thing about Jay. It just depends on how they are. We can raise them to be a certain way, but when it comes down to women, they're gonna have their own identity. You know what I
AJ
mean?
tripping.
Here's my thing, man. It just be like, all right, so I think I got a sense of what my wife likes, what she into, the things that she wants. Mm, I try to, if it's within my means, I try to make it a point to go in that direction all the time. That's the only thing that I want, that I be wanting replicated and reciprocated. You know what I mean? Because I'm not I'm very simple. You know what I mean? I don't need but I don't wear jewelry. I don't, what I mean, I'm not this big label guy, nothing like that. What I mean, I'm easy. Pause. You know what I mean? I
What's
don't
the
need
faces for,
much.
Jay?
I see a murderous look, but
Yeah.
I mean, but pay attention. Just like I'm paying attention to stuff that you like and things that you're into. Pay attention to what I'm into. You know what I mean? So I shouldn't get something that's like so far left where I'm thinking like, okay, why did I get this? What part of the day of the year did it look like that I said anything that I want this tie or I want like pay attention. You know what I like. You know what I mean? Like so if I'm the type that goes to the gym, don't get me something. Don't get me some don't get me some push-up bars. You know what I mean? Like look into it and see what I might really be able to get from the gym. Or like you know what I mean? Or maybe it's just this cool workout equipment or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's something like that. Like
So no
really go into
so
what I like. You know what I mean? If I'm a gamer, see if I won a certain game or something like that. You know what I mean? Like go into my likes the way I'm going into yours. Don't just get me some generic cookie cutter thing for all men and think that's gonna be something for me because I'm not doing that for you. You know what I mean? That be my thing. It is never about a money thing. I'm not looking to match price tags. I bought more for you. You should buy it. No, I'm not looking for that. But shit, at least look for my interests.
That's the thing, Sue, right there. When it comes down to Valentine's Day, they want you to to jump through hoops to figure out what they like. They want you to just assume that you know every little thing that they want and that they desire. But when it
Mhm.
comes down to you, yourself, and us men as being as simple as we are, especially if we watch the Knicks. If
Get
we,
us some tickets to the game.
yo, I would be happy
Be like,
with a freaking,
"Oh, you got me some ticket." Yeah,
yeah,
nah, yeah.
that, or I would be happy with some freaking some shirts or something like that, just to show that you do pay attention.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? You know what I mean? Showing that you pay attention to what I actually like. Don't give me something else that I don't even use. You know what I mean? Or don't even have a care for. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see it being mutual when it comes down to Valentine's Day. It's never mutual because they never want to step up, not even a step. They don't even have to step up 2 steps or 3 steps, not even a half a step to show the same appreciation that they want in return. So the thing is that if you don't get what they exactly want or in somewhere in the ballpark, they're upset. You know what I mean? So when is this actually about love and not about the marketing that it's supposed, that is being marketed for? It's being marketed for gifts, not about to celebrate the love.
These joints though, man, that's Christmas.
Yeah.
Is this I just be seeing it from the outside looking in. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty much what
And
it's about." But
people be putting pressure on each other, and then somebody gonna feel as though they came up short because they
mhm.
didn't meet somebody else's expectations, and that's not okay. Like, if I didn't get you the gift that you wanted, listen, man, if you being thoughtful, we talking about love, and love is not in Louis Vuitton.
No,
Like, so it should be something thought out. Like, I'm trying to even think of something like, you notice that your wife has been working extremely hard, or your husband working extremely hard. Get him a spa day, something like that, just to relax, some self care stuff. That's what I would think. Like that's you putting some thought into it, making something easier for that person. But hey, let me go get this person a bag or some shoes and something like that. And if I didn't do it, means I don't love you as much as you thought I did. Like no,
I'll say we got to do a better job of just advocating for what we want if that's the case. Because again, we'll sit there like, yo, like, damn, this person really ain't do nothing for me. It's all good. I don't really care. And then you move on. And we not letting it be known because we're not complainers. That's just really not in us. It's almost like, that it's being in a relationship, wanting the woman to initiate, and we don't say nothing, it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? So like you gotta say something to at least see if they open to making it happen. Well, now if they still standing on whatever, if they have a principle, then it's like, all right, then you got to figure out whether you okay with it to deal with it or not. You know what I mean? It's it's interesting. It's interesting, man.
yeah, it's definitely interesting because I don't see the narrative ever changing.
I
we
gotta
have. I think
imagine it's different. Every relationship is different.
yeah, I think what Sue said is big. Like without like coming at that person, if you got something that didn't match your effort and you thought it was just like a BS, because Sue had hinted towards something in reference to a gift that he got. And I think that was a direct stab at me, but I'm not going however, however,
What? It wasn't. It was
However, I should have said, like, I think, like, if you get something and you like, "Hold up, you didn't put any effort into this." We won't say it because we know that that's something that women would say. But we need to say that too, though. Like, "Oh, like, you ain't like, what is this? You ain't put no this was just something that maybe you forgot that it was my birthday or whatever. Like, maybe you forgot this is our anniversary. You just went and got something real quick. Like, ain't no effort in this. Like,
and you know why, Maul? They'll never let us get away with it.
never.
Never, never,
Like, we could never get
never.
away with it. We got, you know what I mean? Like, we can't let make it so easy on them sometimes. We're like, yo,
So
man.
that thing that you hitting toward, if I did that, oh my gosh.
And at the end of the day, fellas gonna have to, you know what I mean? I hate to say that, but they're gonna have to step up and say, hey, I don't want no more damn socks. I don't want no more damn underwear. Even though sometimes the underwear and the t-shirts come in clutch. But you know what I mean? I don't want that anymore because I can buy that for my damn self. You know what I'm saying? Give me something that I actually would like to have. That's all I ask for. You don't have to spend a bag of money just to make me happy. You know what I mean? Like we just spoke about the Knicks tickets. Knicks tickets would be great. Freaking, you know what I mean? Some Knicks sweats. You know what I mean? That'd be great. You know what I mean? Something with a jersey. You know what I mean? Give me a Knick jersey. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know what I mean? A hoodie or whatever. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Go give me an Off the Parkway hoodie. But that's another story. But you know what I mean?
Pay the rent, pay the mortgage 1 month.
They ain't gonna do that though.
Take it off. Take it.
That ain't never gonna happen. They'll buy you something more expensive than to pay the mortgage. I tell you that. I don't understand it. They won't do that though. I
Yeah,
tell you that they won't do that. There's something about that makes it feel like they are less of a woman to pay a freaking
Listen,
bill like that. You know what I mean? On their own. I'm nothing on that. They're not doing that. If you can get that to happen, let us know. If you can get her to pay the mortgage, let me know.
that ain't happening, Captain. That ain't happening.
for me that you know I mean like, but if that's what you would if you
Yeah,
would look at that as something that's, you know, for you, then yeah, cool. Like for me, I mean, again, it would be way more simpler than that. You know, what I mean, you ain't even got to put that type of money out. I
No,
ain't looking for that. Just
yeah, I don't need it. I just need
yeah, man.
something. You can spend
Something that would
$100.
be something that would be dope for me. Something that like my not like my wife. She did something last year for, what was it, for our anniversary. And when she upgraded my ring. Uh that that blew me away. You know what I mean? Like that was like that, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm putting her out there, nothing like that. But like that was like kind of the first time where I felt like this was it was a lot of thought put into it. It was something that you had to spend some bread on.
that was
You know,
what was that for? Like a birthday, or what was that for?
it was for it was our anniversary.
Okay, that's dope. Mm.
You know, what I mean, you know, I upgraded hers a while ago and stuff like that, but you don't think about upgrading the man's ring, you know what I mean, like that. But like I had the same band I had since we got married, some just a regular, you know, white gold band or whatever, you know, that is tarnished, is don't fit me the same, you know what I mean. But she did that, and like that I was really appreciative of that, and I'm like, all right, well, that's different, you know what I mean? Compared to, you know, again, I've been married for a long time, and I've went through many of you know, anniversaries, and you know, it wasn't that, you know, just to say that, and you know, that was dope. And my wife does a pretty good job on Father's Day. She'll make the house up, or like, you know what I mean, or even call. y'all ladies and say, "Hey, let's do something together." She's done that, different years. Y it it's it she do a good job.
I don't even know when Father's Day is. What day is
Yeah.
that? What day is that?
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Your Father's Day is Cinco de Mayo.
Go give me a beer. I'm gonna get a beer.
Oh, man. What else we got on this
I
board,
mean,
man?
ju I mean, ju just some stuff that popped up on that been popping on the news, the reels, the YouTube and the IG reels. You got the Glorilla and her sister, uh, and all that stuff that's going on with that. You got, Ja Rule, 50 Cent beef continues via Uncle Murder and Tony Yayo, you know what I mean, on the plane. Like, I I found those things to be quite entertaining. What was your thoughts on it?
What we gonna start with? Let's start with,
I mean, yeah, I
uh,
mean, the Glorilla thing,
alright, let's do Glow first then.
Just
the
think this is
conversation
this
with that is obviously the sister feels like Glow has done nothing for her and all her siblings and things like that. She's on and she don't take care of none of them. And now the conversation of entitlement. Should she do it and what should that look like? Or, why she think that she should get anything at all. Like, so that's the whole thing with that. Um, my take on it is one, I think is a misconception to think that just because you're famous, you got money and you got big type of money. You probably got money to take care and splurge on yourself, but you got to have a different kind of money to be able to do that for yourself and for others. You know what I mean? So, and if you just looking for a handout, uh, you know, be asking for too much.
and
So,
and I think, like, one, when you're looking at that type of stuff, like, what do you bring to the table too, right? Like, you're my family, but what do you bring to the table? You want me to just take care of you? Because
hmm
when they asked her, like, how much would be okay, she said 2,500. Like, so you just want $2,500, right? Like, and then she was like, yeah, because Glow is out there telling our story, our struggle, but she don't want to like give us no money. But that's also Glow's story too. Like, she was struggling
hmm
too.
hmm
She just was the one that made it out. But Glow had actually went online and put her mother and her father on the phone and to
Yeah, I
kind of
saw
clear
that.
things up. So it's not even that's not even accurate. So you just look like this bitter sister who has these issues, and Glow is not really messing with you like that. I think Glow got a whole bunch of brothers and sisters, and she probably
Right.
don't rock with all of them. Like, yeah, but yeah, like you say, uh, I'm not taking care of everybody. And we all know you can't do that anyway. If you bring all your siblings there, somebody gonna fuck some shit up, man. Like, they ain't gonna be all out there responsible. Because if you was, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in now anyway. So go get it out the mud. I think she tried to rap or something. Glow said, "I would've even done a song with you. Like, you call yourself Stud Rilla or some shit like that." Like, know what I'm saying? But yeah, but it's just that sense of entitlement, man, in that family. But if I was Glow, I wouldn't even pay it no more attention, like, 'cause I think Glow was trying to put her mother and father online so she didn't look like a bad person. Like, you don't gotta get that no energy.
Well, Glorilla did her job, man. You know what I mean? And she did help. You know what I mean? Any help provided was more than what she had to do. You know what I mean? She gave out money out of her kindness of her heart. Just because you're on TV or you making music, that doesn't mean that you got a lot of money. You know, some of these artists, they don't make a lot of money like people think. And it's not something that you'll see and it's not out there for the public. You know what I mean? We don't know how much she makes, yearly or whatever the case may be, because it's not publicly known. So the thing is this, regardless if she's rich or not, if you decide to help somebody, that's on you. You know what I mean? And you're supposed to take that help and build off it to get yourself out of your spot that you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to keep coming back and forth for the handout. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell my family no. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna keep helping you over and over. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I keep helping you. Who's gonna help me when I'm broke from helping y'all? You know what I mean? I got to make sure I'm straight before I can help somebody else.
Yeah.
I can give you a one up, but you have to do something on your own to go further with that. And you putting it on social media, that's already a no for me. I'm cutting you
Yeah,
off.
once you do that, it's over.
I'm cutting you off. Yeah, I'm cutting you
Once you
off. Yo,
do
I'm
that,
right.
it's over. Now, I mean, and she took it as like, yeah, well, you wasn't giving me nothing this far, so it don't even matter at this point. Cool, dog. You right. It don't. I
Yeah.
guess it don't matter, and we good with that. And we gonna move our separate ways.
And that's just the crazy thing with this generation is that every bit of business has to be for everybody to know. Everything has to go on social media.
Mhm.
Nothing is private anymore. A private conversation would have got her $2,500. I can tell you that right now. You know what I mean?
That's
She
all you
would have a
want.
better chance of getting $2,500 if she would just call Glow and asked her for the 25. You know what I mean? So they got to do things. People got to. Family is supposed to be working together and stuff like that. If they helping you and you don't get the right answer that you get, you only as good as the last yes. Once you get your no, you're a piece of shit.
This
You know what I mean? That's it.
word.
You know what I
Word.
mean? They said she got mental issues and stuff like
Yeah.
that, so it is
Schizo.
what it is. But you got to keep that stuff off online. The fact that she's all over the place now, people are booking her and stuff like that. They just add into her cause.
Yeah, she gonna lose her damn mind. She gonna go bonkers.
Yeah, I seen her doing skits and stuff now. Like, come on. You know what I mean? She just wants some attention and she's finding a way to do it. And I just hate that you got to put your family member out there to get it. But you know what I mean? You got anything else on that, Sue? Yeah. Let's go right to this old Tony Yayo, the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna spend too much time on
Yeah.
that one, man. It's just that it's just hilarious, man. They ran into each other on the plane. Where was they going in the same? What
LA,
place was they going to together?
LA to New York.
Okay, okay. So probably coming from the Super Bowl.
It's away.
Yeah,
Probably
possibly.
from
Yeah.
Cali. Okay, okay. I mean, it
Yeah.
was in first class. I mean, the area it was in looked nice, but obviously
So they was right, we like right
it's
behind
that
each
beef,
other.
man. It's that 50, Ja Rule thing. It ain't gonna never end. It's always gonna be up when they see each other, and anybody who's attached to those guys is always gonna be up. So, hey, man,
I'm not
don't
mad at
get arrested. Don't trying to play tough. Y'all in y'all late 40s, early 50s, man.
I,
Y'all gotta give it up, man.
I'm not mad at Ja Rule. I'm not sitting with them dudes behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not. No, no, no. I have to switch flights.
Gotta
But
switch.
I'm also not gonna be turning up
No,
on the plane asking them to fight. And you know what I mean, knowing that you can't fight on the plane.
going to
Well,
jail.
he looks better doing that than if he
Yeah.
didn't do if he yeah, so, I mean, he kinda had to do something. They talk about calling me all types of bitches and shit. Alright, he like, "Yeah, let's get it shaking."
And people was eating that up, talking about, well, yeah, he was calling them out by himself. I'm like, yo, he knows he ain't fighting nobody.
You don't find nobody.
Yeah, I would've fucked one of them up. Ja Rule would've fucked one of them. Ja Rule in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not gonna fight right then and there.
I'm
You
just
know what I mean?
saying,
I cut
if it was a situation
on
when it went
charges.
down, one of them would've got fucked up. But
Yeah,
now
you know what I mean?
him and 50 might be different. You know what I mean? Yeah, ain't in shape. Uncle Murder damn sure ain't.
Yo, man, I'm like, what's the odds of both of them being on the
Same
same
fucking flight
plane, one chair away from each other?
and sitting right behind each other.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
Yo, I would have loved to have seen Yayo face when he first saw this nigga. I know he was like, he was like, oh, here we fucking go, bro. Like, yeah, I know that shit was like, yo, come on, bro, man. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to
Hey,
go home, man. Leave me the
hey,
fuck alone.
Hey, Sue, but could you imagine being like, say, if one of us on there and we know the history, like from just like social media and rap, and we seen both of them come on, it would have been like, yo,
Yo, yo.
it's about to go
So
down.
like, all right, so you on the other side, and you already see that they did, but then you see Ja Rule. I'm like, yo, like,
But my thing is, I want to know who came on first because when I seen the video, he was already sitting down.
I
Ja Rule
gotta
was sitting,
imagine. I gotta imagine that. I feel like Tony and Uncle Murder got on first.
Hmm.
They
and
had to.
he didn't pay them no mind when he sat down. He ain't see them.
Pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they made
so
it
I'm
known that they was
like,
there.
how in the world he sat down
They
because they was
probably
talking.
saw. I mean, they probably saw each other before they got on the flight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
probably
and
they had to.
yeah, yeah. You in the airport, man. All them niggas are fucking felons. They got their ass locked up, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they still took that flight
Hmm.
because it should have turned up. You would have never if the beef was really that damn real. I would have never sat down. You know what
True.
I'm
Maybe he
saying? I
thought he
would
was gonna
never sit
sit.
down.
Maybe he thought he was gonna sit down and niggas wasn't gonna say nothing. But I think they was fucking with him from the rip.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
what
for I know for a fact Tony was saying something. so so at that point, because if I'm Ja Rule, I see him, I'm like, all right, whatever. As long as nobody don't touch me, as long as I don't say nothing, I'm just gonna I'm gonna sit down and take my flight. As soon as they start saying something, I ain't gonna be quiet. Like, all right, so now I was on there.
That's a 5-hour flight full of anxiety.
Oh, I'm not going to sleep.
no, you can't.
Yeah, I'm not going to sleep.
They hit me in the face with no pretzels.
Mm. Hey, you know
Imagine the
somebody
crash.
gonna do something. You know them niggas in the back like, go
Yeah,
ahead. Oh man.
they're gonna pour all that juice and soda on you, man. Nah, man,
Uh,
I'm good. I can't do that, man. I tell you that.
Ah man.
You know what I mean? But hey, we made it. We made it
Yeah,
through
yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Like I said, once again, if you like this type of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and share it with your family and friends, share it with some strangers. You know what I mean? This is Off the Parkway podcast. We'll see you when we see you.